Captain Phillip decided. He put his servant, Edward Dodd, in charge, and allotted him a large convict working party in the hope of hastening the initial planting. And since most of the officers had purchased livestock, fruit trees and seed for their own use, he began allocating individual plots of land to any of them who asked for it. It was a beginning, and a very necessary one, for a great many of the male convicts landed to make up the settlement's labour force were suffering from the ravages of dysentery and scurvy, and quite incapable of prolonged work. The Marines, who were younger and fitter, were forbidden by the Commandant to do more than provide guards, and Philip had his first serious clash with Major Ross on this account, within a few days of landing. "My men are soldiers, Captain Philip," the Marine officer informed him with icy dignity. "They are here to do duty as garrison troops, and for the protection of the settlement. They will confine themselves to this duty. On no account will I permit them to act as superintendents of convict labour, and they cannot be expected to perform manual labour either, save when they are off duty. Then, since you have not seen fit to assign any convict working parties to my officers, I have given them leave to assist in the clearing and cultivation of land taken up by their officers. It will be on a strictly voluntary basis, of course, and their labour will be rewarded. That, sir, is my final word on this subject. I give you good day." Without waiting for Philip's reply, he stalked off, a stiff, unyielding figure, attended, as always, by his son and Lieutenant Leach. "What in God's name can I do with the infernal fellow?" the new governor asked helplessly of his second-in-command. "Our seamen are working harder than the convicts, without a word of complaint, but Ross forbids his damned jollies to do the same, and we need every man we've got." "Have your commission read, sir?" Captain Hunter answered uncompromisingly. "It appoints you as governor and captain general, and places Major Ross and his corps unequivocally under your command." "I will," Arthur Phillip agreed. "But we must land all our people, including the women, before I can do so. And we're not ready for them, heaven help us." There were tents for the Marines' families, 28 wives and a score of children, but the hospital was as yet a mere shelter, contrived of green timber and interlaced branches plastered with clay, like the huts, with a thatch of cabbage palm, reinforced with old sailcloth. It let in the rain, and there were few blankets to cover the shivering sick, who huddled there in abject misery. The huts planned for the women were only half completed, their latrines not even begun, Philip sighed. His own marquee, which had cost £125, and had been specially designed to provide both living and official quarters, was not weatherproof, he reflected wryly, and the slightest breeze disturbed its stability. But until, by their own labour, the settlers could improve on all these things, discomfort and even hardship could not be avoided. It would mean, in the end, the survival only of the fittest, and would apply to them all, officers, garrison troops, and convicts alike, when the ships and the seamen sailed away. And somehow he must bring this bitter and unpalatable truth home to them. Again he expelled his breath in a long-drawn sigh, and reached for pen and paper. His brow deeply furrowed, he started to compose the address he would make to them after his commission as governor was read. It took him until well past midnight, working by the light of a spluttering candle as sheets of rain beat against the leaking canvas of his marquee. On February the 5th, a fresh issue of clothing from the ship's slop chests was made to the women convicts, and their disembarkation ordered for the following day. First to be rowed ashore were the wives and families of the Marines, most of whom had been given passage in the Prince of Wales, and they were followed by the 50 convict women from her hold. The Lady Penryn's women, the largest contingent of female convicts, numbering close to 100, with half a dozen children and as many babes in arms.